Good morning, buongiorno, bonsoir. Welcome to Life's Questions and Lessons. I am your host, Charity Youngblood, and I am so excited and grateful that you are here with me today. This podcast is unedited because life is unedited. As always, we'll get started with the question and whatever activity you engage in to explore your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, please feel free to do. So today's first question is my light on? Is my light on? So I was recently in a conversation with a cousin of mine, and we started talking about something that we have in common. We have a lot of things in common, but something that we had in common, which was the struggle or noticing how challenging it is to make new friends as an adult. And I really wanted to hear her point of view and her perspective and why she felt like it was difficult for her. And so I just asked her to share, an example or just her insights. What do you think it is? So I do need to provide a little bit of context because you don't know her, and this is important for the rest of the conversation. She is very, very successful, and she is strikingly gorgeous, like supermodel gorgeous. All right. So she goes on to tell me that she went to this, meetup and, none of the women really approached her and, just kind of shared some of her experiences. And so the first thing that I said, I honestly feel like you're working up against two barriers that I could think of. There was two barriers to entry when it comes to, making new friends. I said, number one, you are very gorgeous, like supermodel gorgeous. So unfortunately, there are a lot of women that see another woman's beauty as, a mirror into their own insecurity is the only way that I can say it. It's like seeing another beautiful woman makes them feel less beautiful. It's not true, but that is definitely a feeling that some women hold. So that's barrier number one. Barrier number two is you're very, very confident, right? So she knows who she is. She, is when she walks into, she's one of those women where she walks into the room and you're like, oh, I want to get, now for me, so I do have to caveat this. For me, I see women like that walk in the room and I'm like, I got to get to know her. Confidence is an attraction for me. It's like a connector. I want to know you. I want to hear your story. But again, as I was explaining to her, that second barrier for some women, unfortunately, confidence can make them feel less secure. And if you are someone that's ever heard, oh, well, you think you're better than me, or you think that, you're all that, or something like that, that is the perfect example of someone who is basically lashing out for the lack of confidence in themselves. So I explained to her, those two barriers, and we kind of started talking about what I briefly discussed just a second ago, how we are both it's like moths to a flame. When we see someone who is just, gorgeous, like head to toe, got their fashion right, looking just glowing, supremely confident and fun and just a light. We are attracted to women like that. Like it is, I want to connect to you. I want to know you. And I couldn't quite put my finger on what that quality was. But I was telling her that's what you want to look for in your friends. You need to, seek that. And she said, so basically, I want to look for women who already have their light on. And I was like, ooh, child, if you don't go ahead and write that down, let me get my pen. And obviously I wrote it down and brought it to the podcast. But really, really challenge you to think about this on your own. If you're someone who's listening to this podcast, I guarantee you are someone who is, first of all, you understand the power of personal growth. You either have a high level of confidence or you're working towards a high level of confidence. You want to impact your life and the lives of others in a positive way. That's who you are. So if you are finding it hard to find people, specifically women, who you're trying to connect to and have, build a relationship and a true friendship with, I highly suggest you to take some time to think about this for you. Is my light on? We always want to start with us first, right? Because we're going to attract the type of friends, the type of people, the type of energy that we want in our lives. So definitely have some fun with this question. Ask yourself this on a few different days if you need to, but definitely have fun with this one. As always, thank you so much for listening. Please rate and review this podcast wherever you're listening to my words. And if this was helpful for you, please share it. We are here to help each other. So if this was helpful for you, please share it with someone else. And until next time, take care.